Experts have called for review of protection against domestic violence law of Lagos State, believing that the law has been on since 2007 and needs to be reviewed for expedience in the time. Several speakers at the one-day dialogue organized by Women Advocate Research and Documentation Center, WADRS, with women's rights organization and government representatives, comment that the law will feel lots more could be achieved if reviewed. Galaxy News correspondent Levy Joseph was there and tells us more. The scourge of domestic violence as well as other forms of violence, especially against women, has eaten deep into the fabric of our society. Violence has taken different forms ranging from sexual to physical and psychological as well as other forms. Enactment of a law of protection against domestic violence, Law of Lagos State 2007, was a welcome development, but experts feel the exigencies of the time require urgent review of the law to make it more beneficial for the society.
What do we mean by violence? Because when we talk about violence, we normally talk about physical harm. But violence is beyond physical harm, which is also recognized in the law. We talk about psychological and emotional abuse, which cannot be measured physically.
Criminal code, or in fact, the domestic protection law does not even have any criminal sanction. It did not prohibit anything from the criminal law perspective. So it provides for new sexual offenses that are not adequately captured in earlier laws, like child pornography, its production, distribution, and attempt. That is section 23 of that law.
One area that experts want government to look into is the angle of punitive measure in the protection law, which they think will make it more fearful and effective rather than the basic protective ability of the law.
The law has been in existence since 2007, and that's quite a long time. A lot of things have changed in the issue surrounding sexual and gender-based violence, and we feel that between 2000 and now and 2023, there's a need for us to take a look at the law and see whether there are some areas that we can amend, for the law to become effective.
Said that the protection law against domestic violence of Lagos State, it's ineffective in the 21st century and should be totally revamped, because the law seeks to protect, and you can't be talking about protection when there is already an abuse that has been meted out on the victims.
Concerned authorities were also tasked to ensure proper application of the law, saying the issue of delay in court process is discouraging and most time reduce the zeal of the victim at getting justice.
The law does not particularly define the different types of domestic violence that it protects. Also, when you want to bring an action in court using the domestic violence law in court, there is no mode of commencement of bringing an action in court. These are like some of the issues, that the gaps that are existing in the law. Also, the law is not punitive in the sense that all the law does is that it just sanctions.
What I think the issue is that we need to change the practice and the practice directions and the rules for implementing the law, so that once a protection order is breached, there's a provision that escalates it within a time period for prosecution under the criminal law of Lagos State, which covers every act of domestic violence.
I think more should be focused on the implementation of the law, because we have cases where the law does not really, how long would it take to get a protection order? A year, you are still in court. Family court sits once a week, at most twice a week. So how long will it take you to even prosecute a case of domestic violence or